Welcome to BitBoy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the People's Channel, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto than this one right here. My name is Ben, coming to you live every single day at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think we're actually on time today. This is a miracle of the Lord. A true miracle of the Lord. It is Monday, August 15th, and man, August is flying by. We are already halfway through the month. Pretty crazy when you look at that. I also just got an email about some big stuff I talked about on Twitter over the weekend. Twitter was going out of control. I had several posts that had over like 5,000 likes. Those are some of my highest ones ever. And they were like back to back to back to back. You know what the difference was?
What's that?
It was after I took a picture with Richard Hart. After I took a picture with Richard Hart, all of a sudden, everybody likes all my stuff. So, and the Hex people made a portrait of me. So,
oh wow. So never mind. I'll leave that alone. Nothing.
Okay. I did make a trade last night, and I won. So made about 5% on the trade, I think, maybe 4.5%. So far, we're like 3 out of 4 on winning trades. Maybe it's 3 out of 5. Looking for some positions now. Man, that Lux Algo gives you a lot of unconfirmed triggers. You got to be patient, wait for one to really confirm. So Angel Ramirez says, Ben, you got to try Celsius drink. No pun intended. It's just a better alternative than those unhealthy energy drinks.
Is it though?
That'd be like 10 years ago dating a girl named Isis. Like, you just don't, like, it's her name. What's she going to do? That's their name is Celsius. What are they going to do? I ain't drinking that. Tell you that much.
I'm not drinking. And I don't buy this whole they're super healthy for you either. Because every new energy drink comes out, that's what their whole pitch is based on. It's healthier. Then you go look at the ingredients and like, okay, what about this is healthier than a Bang?
It's not a monster, though.
Yeah, that's what people say about Bangs, and it's like, okay, it has less caffeine. I want the caffeine, so
that's what they say about it. It has less caffeine than Bangs.
That's most people
Bangs
that say
that's what I like.
This is more healthy than a Bang. It's generally just less caffeine, and then all the other same stuff. So yeah.
Well, I'm down to just drinking. I don't even drink one every day now. Sometimes I'll just have a little monster instead. But man, I sure do love the Bangs. They taste so good. I've been drinking it for so long.
Solid.
All right, guys. Well, I guess let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be talking about a lot of different stuff today. We're going to be talking about the market cap, obviously. We do not have any guests on today. Frank will be coming on, obviously. The Moon was supposed to be on here today, but I guess he had a scheduling conflict. So as we move into the actual video here, we're going to have a new layout for you guys soon, by the way, for the live stream. But as you move here, make sure to stop what you're doing and smash the like button. It's the number one thing you can do as a member of the BitSquad, help out the community, to help more people see crypto. Definitely hit that like button if you're watching on mobile. Exit the live chat, hit the like button. Come back in if you're watching on smart TV. Bottom left-hand corner of the screen. More actions, more options. React, and then like this video.
Real quick. I don't know if we touched on it. You might have done it not on the live stream, but considering the Braves gear, what you have going on later, that Grisham home run when he first came out, insane.
Yeah.
Out of the park.
I'm telling you, Braves are building a dynasty.
Yeah.
We're building a dynasty. I mean, the amount of talent that we brought up through our system is so incredible right now. We don't have a hole, which is not a good thing always. But we don't have a hole. And Austin Riley signed 10-year deals. So going to the Braves game tonight. Shout out to my guy Brandon Nimmo, who plays for the Mets. He hooked us up with some batting practice tickets. So we're gonna get to go down there. Me and my kids and my friend and his son. We're gonna go down on the field before the game, watch him, hit some balls, smack some dingers, and make it happen. So definitely shout out to him. And where the Braves at?
Jacob Nix from the Padres was talking to him this morning, just randomly
he
on
sent me a message too.
Instagram.
Yeah.
He says he watches every day. Proud member of the BitSquad.
Hey, there's nothing. Look, when I was a kid, the number one thing people wanted to be was an athlete. You wanted to play sports. You want to play professional sports. You want to be a ball player. Today, kids, what do they want to be? They want to be a YouTuber. So how the turntables have Professional athletes like number 8 on the list now. YouTuber number 1, influencer number 2. Can't remember what number 3 was. Maybe an actor or something
Probably
like that.
gamer.
Yeah, gamer's got to be. Gamer's up there too for sure. That probably is number 3. So, is what it is. All right. You should watch the video Guy Drinks Bang for the first time. That might be kind of interesting. Thoughts on Tennessee Titans, Malik Willis? I did not get to watch that at all, but did you see the Falcons game? Our preseason game?
I saw the scoreline.
We won on 4th and 9 with a minute and a half left. Desmond Ridder threw a touchdown. So It wasn't the greatest pass, but look, it's 4th and 9. He had to get one up. So a little encouraged to see that. We don't have the Falcons preseason game for another. We only have one this year, so 2 weeks. On the 27th is when we will be going down to check that out. So, all right, let's move on here and see what is going on across the land. Is this? That is not.
No, you can close that.
Yeah, I want to pull up the here down here. Where is our portfolio? I need that, Johnny. I need that portfolio pulled up every day, sir. If you're here,
yeah.
Where'd he go? He left. Yeah, he left. Okay, well, let's go ahead and move into this then. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. We're at 877.6K followers, getting like 3,000 or 4,000 over the weekend. I mean, I just had these tweets that were freaking crushing it over the weekend. 935, 1419, 1,516 likes, 1,780, 2,269, 5,030. So if you're missing out on Twitter, you're really missing out. So definitely don't forget to follow me there. Let's move on to coinmarketcap.com. Take a look-see, then we'll bring up Franksy. 20,579. Just remember, guys, everybody told you the coins were going to be flying off of CoinMarketCap. They were going to be dead and nobody was going to talk about them. 99%. This number is going to be at 200 by the end of this year. Guys, that's not the way CoinMarketCap works. That doesn't mean those projects aren't dead. Most of the coins on CoinMarketCap are already dead. That's the thing a lot of people don't realize. Exchanges, we've added about 9 exchanges over the last week. Market cap 1.15 trillion, 80 billion in volume. Bitcoin dominance 40.1%, ETH dominance 20.2%. Pretty much unchanged since last week. I do see your super chat, DL. Thank you for that. Would you DCA into ETH and Acala at these prices? I have both, but wondering if you think there will definitely be another leg down. Number 1, definitely dollar cost average into ETH. Number 2, dollar cost average into whatever coin you want that you think is going to be successful. Gala is not one I'm particularly big on. The Gala people really hate me for saying that. We do have people in this building that love it. Meta Money runs a node, but guess what? We're all allowed to have our own opinions. I just don't see it really taking off, to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of hype and marketing. I think they were scrambling to come up with some announcement for their conference. So I don't think a Western version of Fortnite is revolutionary. I'm sorry, I just don't. So we'll see. Maybe they'll put out some good stuff, and I'll change my mind. It just seems like kind of thing where everybody who got in early made all the money, and now people that are getting in, the play to earn is not going to be super. Not going to be super great. Uncle Roger would roast Ben for how he strokes his energy drink. Who's Uncle Roger?
I have no idea.
Who's Uncle Roger? I don't know. Mr. Rogers? Mr. Rogers' neighborhood? Is he still alive? Did he die?
Hope so. I think I did hear he died because I remember people talking about that.
Yeah, I think he died. A lot of false rumors about Mr. Rogers. I don't think he was. What did they say? He's like a sniper or something.
Yeah,
Navy
SEAL.
I don't think that. I think that was all false. But, anyways, point being, before that disrupted me. Oh yeah. So like I was saying about, do I believe there's definitely another leg down? No, I do not believe there is definitely another leg down. I believe about an 80% chance, and I'm sticking to that. I'm not going to change my mind on that. I don't. If we go above 40K, I may start to question it. But I don't think we're going to go up that high. So. Really interested to hear your thoughts on Syscoin. Keep what you're doing. Thank you for that super chat, Matthew. Syscoin, Syscoin was actually the reason for the Seifu fund on Binance. You remember Syscoin there was a time where I think it was, what was it? Binance crashed. Syscoin, I think you could get one Syscoin for 16 Bitcoin. That's how much it pumped that day. And it wrecked the project for a long time. And Binance, started this fund for if there's a big problem on the site to pay users back from that. So that's about all I know about Syscoin. I know Wendy likes it. I've seen some other people talking about it. I'd have to see if they've had a major rebrand. You know, some changes made since those days where Syscoin was on the way out. So I'm going to check it out and see where it is now. Adam Harley, where can I buy Hex? I have no idea. I have no idea where to buy Hex, to be honest with you.
Apparently,
Uncle Roger is a funny Asian YouTuber.
Yeah, there you go.
That's all right. All right. Moving on here, looking at the numbers. Bitcoin at 24,165. It did tap 25K briefly 2 nights ago. Ethereum over 1,900. It tapped over 2K. Now we're having retracements. Binance Coin here at 318. I just really want to continue to warn you guys about believing the bull run is back. I mean, it's just one of these things where could it possibly be? Possibly. Chances are low, in my opinion. So I do think we're going to have another leg down. At least test support again. Cardano, XRP, let's see, both down for the day, about the same amount. Solana, number 9, Dogecoin, number 10. I mean, Polygon may sneak back up in the top 10 soon. Shiba, golly, look at that pump, 27% for the week.
Jeez.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying that, a lot of people are saying Sandbox and what was the other coin? Sandbox and something else are set up to kind of duplicate a possible run that Shiba's had here. Look for the last 7 days. Sell. Guys, this is a joke. This is a game. This is now a meme coin, just so you know. Celsius is now a meme coin. Here's Anchor up 42.9%. I met I believe the CEO of Anchor, or founder of Anchor while I was in Canada. I think that's his role there. But 42.9%. Interesting stuff with staking going on there. Safe stuff, not third-party staking. Nexo, Chili's, Shiba, UOB, all over 20% pumpages. Okay. Frank, you want to come on up? Talk charts. Here he comes. Right,
Let's go.
talk charts. We gotta do my spin move.
What is going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good Monday. And what Ben was just talking about, some coins that looked like they were going to follow SHIB. We were taking a look at those, some of those coins on my channel. One of them was obviously Doge, not too much of a surprise. Got a nice pop on Doge. GMT also looking set up pretty well. And Solana, which also did have a pop literally like minutes after we were talking about it on my stream. So yeah, super pumped about that. But we got some good stuff to look at on the charts here, guys. Now, I know everybody just wants to know, is it going up? Is it going down? Obviously, you can't be too sure just saying one of those things. But I will say this. Long story short, I do think that we could potentially come up a little bit here based off of some lower time frames, but eventually come back down and come to some lower prices here in the near future. And we're going to take a look at that here on the charts. Let's go ahead and jump right into the daily chart. So basically what happened here, guys, is obviously we have been watching this gold box for a potential breakout, and you guys know that this is the level that we were watching to get to flip this level to support and get that quick move up to about 28 or 30K. And last night we came so close to the tip of that golden box before we got a harsh rejection. Put it in the Discord last night, the Frankie Handle Discord, saying that we were watching this this daily level at about 25,359 for a potential rejection. As I was going to sleep, I try to put some TA in the Discord. You know, it's not every single day, but we try to get in there as much as possible. And as I was going to sleep, I was saying, you know, watch for potential move up here. And then as I get everything together, as I'm about to post it, it was already starting to approach the level. So I was just saying, you know, I'm going to sleep, guys. But if we get up there, look for a potential rejection. We did come down pretty heavy here. Now, I'm going to touch on the shorter time frames first because I do think there is a potential possibility of us coming up in the short term here. You did get somewhat of a bullish divergence here on the 15-minute as well as the 30-minute confirmed bullish divergences. So this could tick us up a little bit. We'll have some resistance here at that spider line coming in at about 24,705. And I do think that could bring us up just a little bit, that 1 hour as well, putting in a bullish divergence. So I think, you know, money flow obviously coming out here. So I don't know if I'm going to take this. Was thinking about taking a scalp long off of this 1 hour bull div here. But, you know, I do think the shorter time frames can bring us up just a tiny bit. Again, that spider line would be the first level I'm looking at for a major rejection. But this is just the short term, right? This would just be a scalp trade where I'm just getting in, grabbing my bag, jumping out. I'm in the trade for, you know, just a little bit. But on the longer time frames here, we do have some things that are, I don't want to call them concerning, but just kind of indicating that we could get a decent move down here. And that main thing is going to be the red dot on the daily, looking like it wants to print here pretty soon. And obviously, these daily red dots do typically bring us down. You can see the last two marked, local tops before we got a decent correction down before heading back up. So we are looking to print one of these. It's been flashing on and off since last night. Just waiting for it to come up and confirm. We will close another daily candle later on today, so we'll see if we can get that red dot to confirm. But that's number one. That daily red dot I do think can bring us down. And also, you want to realize not only did we come up and reject that daily level at 25,359, but we also are closing the candle, or the candle now is below this spider line, right? So we have the resistance of this spider line as well as this daily level up here. So keeping an eye out for that red dot on the daily. Now, continuing up on the time frames here, or actually down, we're going to look at the 16-hour. You can see that we have put in a pretty big bearish divergence on the 16-hour. So this is kind of adding to our bearish narrative here. You have your high on your momentum waves, your lower high, and then you have your high and your higher high on price. Typically, you can get decent pullbacks, especially when you have a bearish divergence on something like the 16-hour, 12-hour looking very similar with the bearish divergences there. So between the bearish divergences on the 16, the 12-hour, with the daily looking like it wants to print a red dot, I do think we could have potentially found a local top here, and we could potentially get a decent correction down. Obviously, we will have to wait for more information before we can assume if we are going to pop higher, come down, maybe make a just come down for a healthy correction and continue higher, or if we're going to get a big dump and start seeing some of the lower levels that we've been looking at, coming lower down to like the 20,800 level, and even down here to about 19,000, where you do have the confluence of this spider line and the value area low. So obviously, we're going to have to wait till we make that decision. We'll have to wait for some more information. But right now, again, between those bearish divergences, money flow coming out on the lower time frames, and that daily red dot, I do think we can come down just a bit. But watch those lower time frame bull divs for a little pop up in the short term. Now, I do just want to bring up the DXY real quick, because we do have something interesting popping up on the DXY. As you guys know, we have been watching this little channel, right? We have the weekly bearish divergence, which did confirm on the DXY. And then we were feeling bullish on Bitcoin, right? Because we were falling out of this channel, right? So this was pretty bearish. We are currently, basically bearishly retesting this level on the daily. But if you zoom into the lower time frames, you can kind of see that we are actually getting back into this channel, right? We kind of came up, bearishly rejected, and then popped up, and now we have held support, and we are bouncing higher into this channel. So this is not what we want to see for if we want to see Bitcoin break bullish. You do not want to get back into this channel and potentially find support and work our way back up to the top. You want to see this continue to break down out of this channel. But I just did want to bring that up, because we did technically on the lower time frames break back up, and we are starting to hold support here. So this is something I'm watching. If we can get higher up into this channel, it would make me a little bit more bearish. And if it does happen, it wouldn't be too much of a surprise, right? Just because of that, the bearish divergences and all the stuff we just looked at on Bitcoin, kind of pointing towards a pullback. So just another thing to keep a lookout for, guys. And then as far as levels, so I could just leave you guys with some levels to watch. The main levels I am watching, and one of the reasons I did not jump into a scalp long just yet, based off of these lower time frames, is because I would rather come down to this daily level down here at about 23,851. So, this is going to be a major level I'm looking for to find some support. But again, with those bearish divergences on the higher hourly timeframes and that daily red dot, I do think there's a good chance we break it. But should be some decent support down here. So there's some levels you can watch. Again, to the upside, major level you want to break is this daily level at about 25,359. So there you go. There's some levels. I think that's all I got. Back to Ben.
Are you guys gonna touch on any trades?
Are we
from
going
the
to touch?
competition?
Are we going to touch?
Oh, well, touch on trades is what I meant.
Ooh. So what'd you say? Are we going to touch on?
Did you
trades?
guys have any trades?
I can show mine.
Yeah, from
Yeah,
the competition.
I am currently not in a trade. I'm actually going back to my computer to stare at the chart some more and potentially enter into this scalp long. But for as far as potential trades, looking for those maybe that 1 hour bull div to bring us up a little bit. Oh, hey, whoa, hey, workplace abuse. But yeah, as of right now, not in any open positions, but looking to potentially get in on this this bull div here. So that's all I got. Back to Ben. Bing bong.
TPS reports together, Frank.
Yeah.
Look. Okay, let me pull up Femex here. Yeah, and you go ahead and drop the Femex link in the chat. That'll take you here. You can get up to $4,500 depending on you know, what you deposit at and stuff like that. Femex is where we trade right now, pretty much exclusively. I think Frank does a little on KuCoin. We also do have Bybit, but Femex is really what we want to focus on because it's the friendliest for you know, KYC and stuff like that. And I would also say that you know, is the Binance link up too? I can't see it.
There you go.
Guys, check it out. We do have some deals on Binance. If you guys want to use Binance.us, if you're American, or regular Binance, if you're from somewhere else, we do have those deals for you. But let me pull up Femex and show you guys what I did over the weekend. I didn't trade last week while I was gone. And also, they want the market cipher discount code.
I've got it. I've got it all. But,
okay. Yeah. All right. So right now we're going to go here on Femex, and we are going to go to closed positions. I want P&L. I want to go P&L. Okay. All right. So let's see. This is the funding rate, trade history, P&L details, order history. Still not figured out the best way to show this on here. There just doesn't really seem to be a good way to do it. Because this doesn't even say doesn't even say whether I won or lost any of the trades. Femex really needs to up their game. There's one thing they're kind of weak on, in my opinion, is being able to show your P&L and your history. So let's see, because this has 7 days here. Yeah, I'm a little confused on why this is. Here we go, closed P&L. Let's try this. Okay, so yeah, so you guys can see we basically, since we started trading again, we had a 2.5% win. Then we lost like 15% on back-to-back trades. Now, these are the trades I was talking about where I closed a long in the negative, and then I immediately went into a short. That was a bad idea. You don't want to do that. And so basically, I compounded the losses there. But this trade I made over the weekend, 4.12%. Basically, I was looking at TradingView. I got my alert here for this. Let me turn this on. Our handy dandy confirmation here. Go to the hourly. That is where we're trading at. Okay, so basically what I did over the weekend is I went in right here on this buy, and it went up. And basically when it got about right here, I looked here and I saw this red dot on the top of the momentum wave for market cipher. And so I went ahead and exited. And that it turned out to be a good move because basically I exited very close to the top. 24.7 is where I think I exited. It did pop up to 25K and came back down. The peak it hit was 25.2. So if I could have caught some of those wicks, like, okay, that would have been okay. But I was just glad to count the win. And so really, if it wasn't for that 10% loss that hit my stop loss that I had on one bad signal that I got, you know, we would be in the profit for the week. So we're down a little bit. We're down like 6 or 7%, somewhere around there. So not too bad. Just trying to get back into the swing of things. We're trying to take it slow, trying to show you guys patience. I'm only trading with 7x leverage. I'm trading with on the hourly charts. I'm kind of limited on when I can jump in. I'm not trying to do where I'm, you know, trading all night or anything like that. I'm trying to go to sleep and not be thinking about my trades. That's something very important. So, Curtis Cyclops said, yeah, I'll go back to that. Besides upcoming product on DEX, are there any DEX exchanges that allow you to keep coins in your custody in private wallet while trading? I know they exist. I just don't know what they are off the top. So
couple comments remarking on the liking the portfolio videos from the weekend.
Yeah, people like those. Let's see. What did Optimism do? And I've got something to talk about in this week's video for this. That where I'm not gonna say I made a mistake. I potentially made a mistake. So, where did we buy it at? We bought it, I think, down here somewhere. Let's see what the price was on Friday. Let's go to the 7-day. 14th, today's the 15th. We're probably about even on the optimism trade right now. Not too bad. I don't have it pulled up. I got to know what the link is to pull that up, so I can pull it up anytime. What's that?
Nothing.
Okay. And then let's look at Sandbox here. See how Sandbox has been doing. Somebody told me Sandbox after I did the video. Basically, someone said, "Oh, there was a reason Sandbox hadn't moved really over the last week because they were doing like a 12% supply unlock, and people were waiting for that." So it's down a little bit, but you know you're gonna deal with that. It's not a big of a deal. At worst, we're at even. At worst, we're down slightly on the trade. At best, we're about even right now. So pretty good position if they do that 12% unlock. You know, maybe people will get excited. Prices will pump after that. I thought we bought it 129. Maybe is what I think we bought it, but I'm not 100% sure. So we'll be showing that. I need to remind myself to make sure I get that set up on here so I can show it at any given moment. So those are the two things we added to the portfolio. But either way, I think Sandbox is bullish over the long term. So I was comfortable putting in a small portfolio, even if it doesn't pump in the short term. It's okay. Sandbox is definitely one you want to have a piece of. I think this thing could easily go to $20 in the next bull run. That's not asking that much. It went to $7 in the last bull run, cut short. So I think we are going to see Bitcoin hit. You know, let me ask you this, TJ.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't exact science, obviously, but
Sure.
what number do you see Bitcoin hitting in the next bull run?
Oof. Yeah, that's an interesting one because we've seen diminishing returns, obviously, especially on the last cycle. That being said, you could make a case that this one would be a bigger, you know, upside, not necessarily continue on diminished returns, especially what we've seen from BlackRock and big money maybe getting involved. And the question to me becomes, do they want to pump the price? And if so, how much? Because they can control a lot of that when you have that much capital.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could see just
Why would they not want the price to go up, though?
well, too fast. We've talked about that
Right,
a little
yeah.
bit before because it could break all other markets that they're trying to keep all in balance. So they want to get in and make profit, obviously. They don't want to see another diminished return cycle where they only maybe 2x from the previous, you know, which you could make the case for, maybe 120 to 150. But I could see much easier on the low side. You know, I hate putting a number on it, but I'm feeling 250 to 300 conservatively. Could even be greater than that if big money. I mean, ARK said 2 to 6% would be 200K just from BlackRock. 2.5% would be an additional 200K on the price, which would put us at 220 from here. So if other people start doing that, you could see it. But 200, 250, I feel like it's pretty safe.
Why diminishing returns on going up, but BitBoy ignores them on the main bear dump? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, because there's not
diminishing returns on a bear market. In fact, we've consistently gone down the same percent. So I'm not ignoring them.
We looked for them. We hoped for that. It's not there.
Now, if you were to, what was that super chat? Cards or Coin, I liked your super chat, by the way. I like your numbers. How do I get my wife on Team Crypto instead of her thinking I'm just gambling, wasting my money?
That's time.
That's time.
Yeah. You got to.
Things take time.
You got to get some wins.
Yeah, come on, man. Run one building today. So Cards or Coin says 140K to 200K, ETH to 15K to 20K. And I think those are reasonable numbers.
I do too.
I think here's the thing people need to think about, okay? Which is we all got ahead of ourselves in the last bull run because we moved so far, so fast, so quickly. So far, so fast, so quickly. We were way ahead of projections. That's why you heard me talking about 320. I was at one point talking about 140K, and then I moved it up to 220, and then I moved it up to 330 almost because we were that far ahead. But if you go back to the bear market before the pandemic, like let's say before the pandemic, where did I see Bitcoin going? Minimum 50K. I said minimum 50K, maybe 80K. That's the number I thought. Then the pandemic happened and it changed everything. And all of a sudden we're thinking definitely 100K. Everybody's thinking 100K because of the money printing. Well, you know, unfortunately, we did not get the inflation numbers that we have now. The inflation numbers that we have now, if we were still in a bull run, would probably be making Bitcoin go absolutely insane. We missed some of the best CPI inflation numbers for the bull run. So before the pandemic, 50K to 80K is what I was saying. It went right in that range. Things changed because everything was just, drastically moving so quickly. And, it seemed very obvious it was going to hit 100K at a certain point. So if you were to assume that 80K or between 50 and 80 is where the last one would have went, I mean, I would probably say somewhere between 120 and 150 for the next one. I think that's reasonable. 200K, definitely potential. If the last bull run, well, the word's not if, in the last bull run, we had 3.5x returns from the previous Bitcoin all-time high in 2017, okay? So if you were to say diminished returns, that would be less than 3.5x from 70K, which would put Bitcoin at $245,000, I think. That'd be 3.5. If we get diminished returns and it's half that, okay, then you're looking at, 120 to $140,000 Bitcoin. Look, guys, I know there's this really strong narrative that Bitcoin's hitting $1 million in the next cycle, the cycle
Really?
after that. I do believe Bitcoin hits $1 million. Carl and I have a bet over it. He said it would happen in the next 5 years, over a year ago. I said it would take at least 10 years. I do believe that. I'm starting to think maybe more, maybe more time, maybe 12 to 16 years, or 12 to 20. My dad did finish his last round of chemotherapy on Friday, guys, so thank you for asking about that. He's doing okay. It's kind of rough, after you go through it, but he's got plenty of time to recover. September 2nd, he gets retested, and we'll see. Hopefully, we don't have to do any more of that. But the point is that when it comes to, where we think Bitcoin is going, you look at these numbers, I think 120K is totally reasonable. I think that's probably what we're going to be targeting. It's not going to hit $1 million very soon. It's going to hit $1 million maybe one day. But there is potential for the reversal of diminishing returns. We've seen diminishing returns so far. But because we didn't hit the stock to flow numbers even in the last one, stands the reason that potentially we could get a reversal of that. And that is definitely something I'm watching out for.
Yeah, that's exactly kind of where I was going. Like if you take diminishing returns and you do 2.2 from 69K, you're looking at roughly 130, 150 range, which is an extremely reasonable assessment to make. But I have a feeling we're going to see some of those returns we missed from the last cycle tacked onto this one because we were seeing big money get positioned. So we'll see.
I wonder if people are getting smarter every bull run. So like we know about when the top should be.
Yeah.
And people are maybe pulling profits much earlier than that to make sure they have the profits.
I think they are. That's what they call the markets maturing, right? People are starting to understand the crypto markets.
Kind of.
Yeah. And big money is starting to understand crypto markets much better than they did in the past.
Gerardo Mejia says, if I don't own a whole Bitcoin, can I still transfer from my ledger? Absolutely.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go. Let's move on to Twitter Buzz.
Twitter Buzz.
Twitter Buzz.
Ooh, I like that.
Twitter Buzz.
Just in, Cyprus grants Revolut authorization to offer crypto services across the European Economic Area to its 17 million users. I tell you, I used Revolut as a crypto bank, and let me tell you, I am so sorry that they're moving to other places because they're awful.
Yeah.
Revolut sucks.
It's extremely popular in Europe, though, which was
Is it?
interesting to me. Yeah. When we were in Malta, it was like everybody used it.
Yeah.
It's like Venmo over there.
So the thing about Revolut is it's not like a real debit card. You're going to run into problems with it in many different places. Like if you want to go to a hotel, they ask you to pay. You can pay. But then once you put a card down for incidentals, they wouldn't accept it. They also wouldn't accept the Crypto.com card either. I believe the Crypto.com card and Revolut are both the same Metropolitan Bank. I'm pretty sure that's the one that's backing them. But Revolut, their service is awful. Their email is awful. Everything about Revolut sucks. Great crypto friendly, but you can't really spend your money out of it. And there's no way to move limits and change limits. It's just awful.
Especially in the U.S.
In the United States. Expansion, that's great. Bullish for crypto, yada, yada, yada. But I would stay away from Revolut. If I were you. Dorian Gray says, my portfolio, HODL for $5 million. In tokens acquired in the last 4 months, Matic 5,000, ADA 2,700, XRP 27,500, Algo 5,000, 8 ETH, 100 or 12,750 XLM, 325 DOT, 90 Atom, 120 QNT,
Quant.
Quant,
Sand and
yeah,
H-bar.
whatever it is. 1700 Sandbox, H bar 8500. I mean, I think that, potentially. I'd have to do the math in my head. I don't know the exact cost of some of these coins off the top of my head. Like, I don't know exactly where Algo sits. I don't know exactly where XLM sits or
That's a
Atom. Yeah.
well-rounded, solid hodl portfolio.
I don't see a coin in there that I don't like. Now that Jed McCaleb left XLM, according to my inside sources there that work there. Domingo Sane says, have you thought about having a coffee shop as utility? Could be good.
What? Just read the tweet.
Okay. Thank you for your super chat. China is, this is from Alf. You're too young to remember Alf, aren't you? TJ?
Yeah, I mean, my parents talk about it.
Yeah, that was a great show. China is learning the hard way, that deleveraging the biggest real estate market in the world bears very negative consequences for growth. And you can cut rate and stimulate, but once they get burned, borrowers are reluctant to play the same game. Again, ask Japan. Guys, remember this. I've told you this many times. China is a house of cards. China's economy is a house of cards. It could come crashing down any given moment. We're sold this message that China is the strongest economy in the world. It's better than the United States. And it's going to, they're going to take us out in 10 years and blah, 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 blah. It's not true, guys. It's just not true. It's smoke and mirrors what China does with their numbers. They're basically internally money laundering and wash trading to make the value of their currencies be worth more. And over time, that Ponzi gets popped every single time. The amount of debt they have in different places is absolutely insane. We owe China a lot. We're in debt to China a lot. But do you know who the number one place we're in debt to is?
Who's that?
Ourselves.
Yeah.
We owe ourselves more money than we owe anybody else in the world. So that's another thing people don't really, understand. But when it comes to this, yeah, of course. But what are they going to do? They're going to control the narrative. They're going to make people think this is a good thing. And it's different in a country where you can force your people to do stuff, where you can literally pry private businesses out of people's hands because you're the CCP and you want to. So I believe we are going to see a very significant change in the Chinese economy here in the next few years. I think that we can actually talk about, Raoul Pal does Real Vision. We are an affiliate for them. We don't really talk about it a lot. I think it might be interesting to get into some of these, kind of geopolitical issues regarding still economic matters when it comes to things like China. So, all right.
Speak of the devil.
Blockworks, Argentina's capital, Buenos Aires, to run Ethereum nodes in 2023. Now, didn't Argentina get pushed around by the IMF and they were going to accept Bitcoin as legal tender and they decided not to so they could get a loan?
I can't remember if that was Argentina or not. Somebody did happen with, but I want to say,
I think that did happen.
I can't remember. It happened. It definitely happened.
There's
I just
a
don't
lot
remember if
that's
it
gone
was
on in
Argentina
last year.
Yeah, it could have been.
Or the last 3 years.
It was.
Yeah, IMF strong-armed him there. Everything Tube says, hey, Ben, what do you think of OP? I've not heard you talk much about it. Are you waiting to see if it survives? Hanks.
That's optimism.
They're minerals, Marie. Look, I think that, optimism seems fine. I think it's going to be a competitor. I still think Polygon crushes everything else. But I do think that, we added to our portfolios, a couple of our portfolios over the weekend, our Friday night videos. So you can go check that out.
All right. I think that's it.
Yeah. All right. BitBoy, can I hang out in your Falcons box? Maybe one day. We should do something where we let people come hang out with us one day.
Yeah.
At a Falcons game.
We
Let's do it
talk
this year.
about it. We just got to get it organized to have an event, basically do a giveaway.
Look at this idiot in the chat. Niall Mick Space Dermott. All I need to know is you put a space in your freaking last name. Who does that? Who literally does that? Someone named Niall with 2 L's. Let me tell you what. He calls me, what is the word he called me? It's the worst. It's the stupidest, low IQ, dumb name to call somebody I've ever heard in the history of my life.
That's a pretty bad one.
He called me a plonkers.
A plonker.
What is a freaking plonker? Nobody knows what that even is. That's how dumb you are.
Oh.
Because I called for 100K. Go find anyone last year that was not calling 100K. Go find me the person that was not saying 100,000.
Other than the savvy.
Other than Crypto Savvy. Go find them. Go find them. I hope you go to everybody's chat out there. Now, they're not going to make fun of you like I do because they're nice. I tell you how it is. You're an idiot, sir. Everyone was calling for it. We were all wrong. Guess what? Plan B, second most followed person on all of Twitter in crypto. It's definitely 135K. People still in November were saying it was still going to happen, Everybody thought it was going to happen. That chart had been right forever. We had a lot of reason to believe it was going to hit 100K. A lot of reason, actually about 6 trillion reasons to believe it was going to hit 100K. But you know what happened? The momentum of that bull run got stopped by one person and one person only, Elon Musk. He stopped the retail investor from moving into the market in May. We got basically a dead cat bounce that went to new all-time highs in November, made us all think it was still going to go up there. But guess what? Guess what, dummy? Everybody thought it was going to happen. It's just more proof that you don't know what's going to happen in this market. You don't know for sure. So that's what I learned. I guess that makes me a good plunkers.
Yeah,
What this guy's got to go.
Well,
he's got a space in between. He's got a space in his brain, a lot of space actually.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was
Where's my
gonna
blood
say,
pressure meter?
no, there's the when you were talking about Elon Musk putting the brakes on. Guess who put the brakes on Elon Musk when he was coming out in favor of her? BlackRock. They started pushing real hard the whole Bitcoin boils the ocean narrative, and he was like, you know what? We're gonna sell a little bit. We're not gonna accept it. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that was good. All right.
Gotta give blockchain backer credit. Yeah, blockchain backer called it top when it hit it. I don't know what he was saying it was going to hit the whole year.
Yeah.
But he did call it top. So
Yeah, we do give him a lot of credit.
yeah, and Richard Hart, you're correct. He did not. He called the top also, with the exception of one day later in the year.
Yeah.
He did call it top. That's crypto face. Well, crypto face, guys. That man don't hold any crypto. That man. I don't know how much money that man has lost by selling off all his crypto he makes on his trades quickly, but maybe hold some a little bit. I don't know. I know at one time he didn't really hold anything. Yeah. Plunker, a good way to call somebody a name without calling them a name. Make one up. Passive aggressive.
Well,
It's like, I'm going to scratch you, but I have no claws. Get out of my face. All right, let's move on.
yeah.
What was that to you? You want me to go after you now?
No,
I was ready to go after him.
that last comment was getting there. That was
You
something.
mother plunker. Mother plunker. Okay. I love 99.9% of y'all, just so y'all know. Okay. Bitcoin retraced after briefly breaking 25K. I mean, it just shows there's a lot of resistance there at 25K. Massive $10 trillion crypto game. Changers closer than you think. Suddenly boosting the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, XRP, Solana, Cardano, and Dogecoin. What is it? Despite a Tesla bombshell? Bombshell? Did I say bombshell?
Bombshell. Yeah, you've been talking funny today.
Oh, man, I tell you what. Is that walking funny?
Talking.
Oh.
No, I wouldn't out you like that.
Okay. Let's see. What is this 100-pound gorilla? 100-pound gorilla. Closer by the day. Bitcoin private trust. What is the news? Oh, I guess they're talking about BlackRock. Yeah, BlackRock coming in. And I'm wondering about, like, what is the relationship between this private Bitcoin spot trust and an ETF that's got to get approved by the SEC? Like, what is the difference here between those?
I don't really understand that either. Like,
Yeah.
it basically is a spot ETF. It's just all by BlackRock's clients, I guess. Maybe they have direct access to make the choice themselves rather than the exchange doing it on behalf of the client. It's
Yeah.
on an index fund, basically.
Because they already have the money, then they do it. They're
Right.
not asking you to put money into it when they've decided where it's going to go.
But they're still providing the vehicle for you to do it, basically, is the way I understand it. But I haven't really read up on it.
Well, I mean, look, I'm never going to sit here and tell you that, it's great that BlackRock is in crypto. I'm just not ever going to say. I'm not ever going to say anything great about BlackRock. I hope they go the way of the dinosaur, in the future, for sure. And I think they will. I think their game is up a little bit here. People are starting to realize what's going on, and that's what people think about the internet. Like, these places would do all this stuff before the internet. They could get away with it forever. Nobody cared. Now people know, and it starts circulating. Like, look, did you know who BlackRock was 5 years ago?
I did because of my brother.
Yeah.
But,
Because he's
know,
into that.
yeah.
Into the opposite of that.
Right.
I never heard of BlackRock. I mean, guys, before I got into crypto, I didn't give a rip about the economy or funds or investing. I didn't care about any of it. You would have to pay me money to watch CNBC.
Yeah.
You still might have to pay my wife.
Yeah.
But like I would not watch any financial forecasts or anything like that. It's amazing how different things are when you get something that makes you excited about this stuff.
Mhm.
But I didn't know what BlackRock was. I didn't know what they were doing. I didn't know they controlled everything. I didn't know there were some funds that basically are power players in the top 500, Fortune 500 companies because they get board seats with other people's money. And then they're able to make moves and they're able to capitalize on that. It's really like a really sick version of insider trading where they're actually able to get the power and to move the market based on their votes on companies to help them do things or not. So people know that what the game is, and I think it's going to end at some point. So,
But their money can still help push the price.
yeah,
up.
there
Not
might
that
definitely. Yeah.
we want them here, but we'll profit from it.
So we're just always trading convenience and price speculation for rights and responsibilities. And
Freedom.
that's something I don't like, but
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it just like everybody else is. It's a balance, There's certain things I'm willing to take a stand on. Some stuff I'm not, and it just depends, that you got to have your own individual strategy when it comes to that stuff. So
What do you think about this?
Ben, can you do a video on how to take crypto from Ledger and sell and take profits? Once I sell to stable coins, do I transfer to bank? Yada, yada, yada. Well, we are going to be doing a Ledger
Like how
tutorial video
Okay.
here soon.
Like screen record?
I may have Frank do it, actually. Put it on the channel, maybe. What'd you say, TJ?
I was asking if it was going to be a screen record, like how to demo. We haven't done those in a while.
Yeah, but you kind of have to have the device in your hand at the same time. So, yeah, we haven't done those in a while.
We should, I think.
You get our own little studio for that.
Yeah.
We only had the space. Raoul Pal, the merge will make Ethereum even more attractive to institutional investors. And just a reminder, we do have a book. We're not going to be posting the link yet, but you can find it on Amazon. It's called Catching Up to Crypto. We're going to do a big launch video here pretty soon where we officially launch, the book. It doesn't come out until January, but Raoul Pal, wrote the foreword for the book. So definitely appreciative to him for doing that. Book is called Catching Up to Crypto. We believe it's going to be #1 crypto bestseller for sure. And we're going to be doing a book tour. We're going to go to probably at least 8 cities, maybe in February, March of next year, maybe more. Do some book signings and hang out with the BitSquad and things like that. So really cool that he wrote the foreword for this. Very respected guy. Former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal explained why, for investors, Ethereum remains the safest, easiest allocation.
Mhm.
Right here, it's showing basically the, what is this showing actually? The 25-day skew historical. That's just a price chart. The merge represents the joining of the existing execution layer of Ethereum, the mainnet we use today, with its new proof of stake consensus layer, the Beacon chain. It eliminates the need for energy-intensive mining and instead secures the network using staked ETH. A truly exciting step in realizing the Ethereum vision, more scalability, security, and sustainability. It's important to remember that initially the Beacon chain shipped separately from the mainnet, Ethereum mainnet, with all its accounts, balances, smart contracts, and blockchain state, continues to be secured by proof of work, even while the Beacon chain runs in parallel using proof of stake. The approaching merge is where the two systems finally come together. The proof of work is replaced by permanently by proof of stake. And I would say that's a really good explanation of how we have the two chains running right now. I thought there's a good simple way for people to understand what the difference is and why we're calling it the merge. I don't know what we're going to call the splurge, but it is what it is.
You can call that a lot of things.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. A lot of institutions wrongly didn't like Bitcoin because of environmental concerns. Proof of stake gets rid of that. Additionally, ETH now has a yield, so that's something institutions love. So you now need to make one asset allocation decision, which is, I believe, in this Web 3.0 technology world. So where do you allocate Bitcoin or ETH? It's going to be ETH. Why? Because you're going to get something between a 6 to 10% yield, and that is extraordinary. Now, they're talking about if you have a validator node, obviously. This is done on-chain. This is not done on a third party like Celsius or anything like that. So, there's a guy, Blanchard B's, in there. What's up, man? So that's what's going on with the merge. We also have this ETH story. Citigroup explains why it's bullish on the merge. Let's see what it says here.
That's exactly what he was just talking about.
A recent research report by Citigroup talks about the implications. Same chart. This is what the merge is. CoinDesk report wanted to say the merge set means the block time will drop 12 to 12 seconds from 13, excuse me. And that could result in a small decrease in fees and increase in speed. City switching for proof of work said switching for proof of work will reduce overall issuance of Ether by 4.2% a year. And with Ether eventually becoming deflationary, this may improve. That's not true. 4.2% a year, it's going to be 95% per year.
Eventually, when it's complete.
No, not eventually. Once it launches, it's going to go from 4.3% to 0.2%, I believe is what the number is.
On the same day?
I believe so. It's a one-time thing. They merge. Everything runs faster. It's not a sped up thing. Basically, right away, we should be getting the amount of Ethereum in 1 year. We should be getting, I always say this backwards. We should be getting the amount of Ethereum we would usually receive. Oh, what's up, Hottie? In 20 years in only 1 year. I said backwards again.
Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying.
I don't know why I cannot say
The
this
part
correctly
that
today.
would be in 20 years.
The amount we usually get in 1 year, we're now going to be receiving spread out over 20 years.
Right.
Because it's a 95% reduction in the inflation.
I just thought it was the 95% was once the merge was complete, which will still take a few months.
I don't think so. No, the merge, once the merge is complete, it's complete. It's now proof of stake. It's just moving to proof of stake.
It is proof of stake.
They've got plenty of other things coming down the line, like the Verge, the merge, the purge, the splurge, the wurge, the dirge, the furge. Everything that ends with urge is coming. That will do to speed up more. The one thing I'm confused about a little bit, I'm gonna be honest with you. The one thing I don't understand. LL, you clearly have no idea what the merge does. This merge will absolutely change nothing. It's only a consensus change. That's not true. That's literally not true.
It's definitely more than just consensus.
It is changing the dynamics of how many tokens are coming into the supply. So we do know that is correct. So I don't know why. What's the big deal with the merge? Okay, what you're telling me here is merge isn't doing anything. It just changed the consensus. There's no effects. Even though we've been covering articles, and I see you in here. I see you in here in this chat. We've been covering articles for 6 months about this, about all the effects and how it's going to change the inflation. It's not talking about changing the inflation of Ethereum 2 years from now. That's not what these have been talking about. Where have you been? Where have you been? How do you not know this? It is a change of consensus, but it's going to have, they just said it right here. It's immediately going to go from 13 seconds to 12 seconds. Even though it's not technically supposed to fix the speed, it is going to get some runoff results from this. So yeah, it is changing a lot. We've been covering this stuff for months. What do you mean? Where have you been? Where's your brain? I don't understand. So anyways, the point is here, this is going to have a massive effect on Ethereum. It's going to be tangible. It's going to be felt. It's going to be quick. And we're already seeing the effects right now. We're already seeing this stuff starting to get baked in a little bit as people are so excited about this merge. You want to see the complete roadmap for Ethereum? It's got many, many more steps. The actual gas fees are not supposed to get cheaper. That's going to happen with the sharding, whichever one that is. The surge, I don't know which one it is. When the sharding comes and hits, that will make everything a lot faster. It's not technically supposed to be affecting the speed, but it is going to immediately affect the amount of Ethereum that's coming to the supply every year. The one thing I don't understand, here's what I don't understand. I don't understand how it eventually becomes deflationary to where we're actually seeing the total supply of Ethereum come down instead of going up. And you want, if that does happen, which some people are speculating, I don't know if that's going to happen for sure. If that does happen, what are the Bitcoin maxis going to say? Because now we have a max supply, basically. We have a total supply. If it's going to go down every year instead of go up, and it's going to be deflationary, it's going to actually have that in its corner against Bitcoin, which is Bitcoin's strongest argument to why it's good money, which is its cap and its supply. Miner rewards 13,000 ETH day pre-merge. After the merge, only 1,600 ETH per day will remain, dropping the total new ETH issuance by 90%.
There you go.
That's 90. That's not 95%. That's just 9%. The numbers I've seen are 95%.
Well, and then that next 5% you're talking about comes with the sharding.
Yeah. So
That's
there you
what
go.
I was thinking of.
Thank you for putting that in the chat. We've been talking about this for months. How Have y'all not got this yet? Unless you're brand new. It is your first day time watching the show. Just know I am going to come on here and yell and give my blood pressure raised almost every day. That's why you come to the channel. I know it's not because of the fact that I'm good looking, or well, maybe. I think we agreed like 60% of people said it was. So, all right, what are you going to say when it's ETH versus the SEC? That's not going to happen. William Hammond got paid too much money for it. There's literally a bill in the Senate trying to pass to take ETH as a commodity and Bitcoin and give it to the CFTC officially, so we never have to do this again. The Senate hates Gary Gensler. They hate the SEC. That's some really cool stuff we've got going on in the background. I can't wait to tell you guys about. We're going to play a role in changing the setup. We're going to play a role in the power struggle between the CFTC and the SEC, I believe. If things are shaping up the way that I think they are, in the BitSquad, you guys are going to be the community that changes crypto forever. Forever. We're going to change crypto. I can't wait to tell you guys more about it. I got a big, long email about this right before we went on air. This has to do with our next bill that we'll be pushing, and it is going to change things dramatically. We've got big-time politicians behind it, and very, very, very excited. Basically, what I want in my life is I want every night for the rest of his life, when Gary Gensler goes to sleep, to see my face. That's what I want. I want that more than anything. I want to own the Falcons pretty bad. But Gary Gensler having nightmares about me every night, that's really what I want. Okay. So that's what they're talking about with the merge. There's Vitalik and Lex Friedman.
They said they'll do a podcast when the merge is complete.
Yeah. Well, I think these guys, man, they would be really fun to go to parties with.
Yeah.
Which one's the wingman?
Hey, that's my style,
It is.
Black t-shirt.
Hey, you fit right in there, DJ. I could put you
would.
right in the middle.
Yeah.
You're taking the picture right here.
Yeah. I'll hand the mic back and forth.
So, okay, here we go. The merge is proof of stake. The surge is sharding. I was right. It is a surge. The verge is vertical trees. The purge is things like state expiry and deleting old history. And the splurge, I thought I was just making that up. There really is a splurge. It's basically just all the other fun stuff. That's a great description for the splurge.
Everybody.
Great description. I used to have a friend whose nickname was Splurger. That's all you called him. That was his name, Splurger.
How do you get
I won't
that?
tell you how he got it.
Exactly. You have to drink surge during the splurge.
I wasn't there. That's what I'll tell you. I was not there when it happened. Tornado Cash community funds multi-signature wallet, disbands amid sanctions. Following the sanctions placed by the U.S. on USDC and Ethereum addresses associated with crypto mixer Tornado Cash, the signatories of the project multi-signature community fund disbanded. Well, they're scattering to all corners of the world right now. Starting on August 12th, they're afraid they're going to get arrested. The signatories started to relinquish their ability to manage the fund on August 14th. All 5 members of the multi-signature wallet completely removed their access, leaving only the governance wallet as the fund's sole owner. Obviously, if you don't know what Tornado Cash is basically a way to mix Bitcoin, which is code for launder money. That's what code that is. Basically, what it is, it removes the history from your Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not private; it can be traced. Now, what the government has done is they've isolated through chain analysis all the Tornado Cash addresses. So now, even if you go clean your Bitcoin and then you take it through Tornado Cash and send it out, the government knows that it came from one of those, and now they've got a way to blacklist those as well. So a lot of people would say, I'll tell you what the Monero people would say. The Monero people would say this makes Bitcoin non-fungible, actually, because one Bitcoin is not worth the same as one other Bitcoin. Because if your Bitcoin from a Tornado Cash address gets blacklisted, that Bitcoin is now worth $0. Meanwhile, another Bitcoin you have sitting on Coinbase, let's say, or a ledger is worth $24,000. So that's what the Monero people would go with that. They swear Bitcoin is non-fungible because of that right there. So don't use these things. They're dangerous. I've never used a mixer. People who have used them go to prison, especially the people that create them. Now, there's a lot of arguments over whether the Tornado Cash dev should have been arrested or not. I saw a lot of people on Twitter over the weekend talking about how, he's just a developer and he shouldn't have any responsibility in this. Guys, they're going to go for whoever they can go after in this stuff, So if you were responsible for creating basically a money laundering service, whether it's open source or not, I don't know what to tell you. If you're not smart enough to stay away from that stuff in the beginning, if you're a criminal, if you're really a criminal, if you're in the Mexican cartel, If you're in the Mexican cartel and you're all about laundering money, hey, great way to do it. Do it. Have fun with it. If you're in the cartel, if you're running human trafficking, sure, great. Go use one. You're a bad person anyways. Okay. Outside of that stuff, why would you want to mix Bitcoin? If you're not a criminal, why would you want to mix Bitcoin? So you don't have to pay taxes on it one day? Guys, it's a lot better. Taxes are a reward. I know that sounds sick. It sounds like BDSM, right? You're getting paid. It's a great thing to get tortured and have to pay all that money. It means that you made a lot of money. That's the punishment, right? Or the reward that you get for making a lot of money is having to pay taxes on it. Guess what? If you don't have to pay any taxes, it means you didn't make any money. You got to get used to it. Government's got to get their cut. It's far better to pay the government their cut instead of wait months and months later and then get everything taken from you and end up in prison. That's not a good thing.
Not saying it's right. You're just saying it's reality, correct? As far as free speech. I mean, are you for basically
Taxes?
Well, the question is, how do you feel about Do Kwon being free and a developer for Tornado Cash being in jail?
Well, I think BlackRock and Citadel are the ones that should go to jail over that, to be honest with you.
But
yeah, I
they
don't have
won't.
I don't have a problem with Do Kwon not being in jail right now. Now, is this situation complete? No, it's fluid and it's still developing. So there is definitely still a chance that he ends up in trial. I'm sure he's going to end up in trial at some point somewhere.
Yeah.
So we don't know the end result of that story. The guy with the mixer, it took him years to end up in prison. So I think Do Kwon, the jury's still out on that. There was vulnerability. You can call him negligent for sure. Definitely call him negligent. Criminal? I don't know. I mean, it's a failed business. People invested in it, basically. But the developer of it's tricky. It's tricky when you get into who's responsible for what. It really is.
Well,
but
it's tricky when you're talking free speech and code and all that sorts. It's similar to the platform argument with the internet, right? Where should Facebook and Google be held responsible for everything that goes on their platform? They get to skate because they help the government. So it kind of depends on the code that you write and who you align yourself with.
Yeah.
Which I tend to agree in the sense that if you use certain products, you're going to bring on certain risks, right? So unless there's a very good reason, like you were saying, like you really need to use these products, stay away from them because there's going to be a lot of risk attached to them.
So,
not saying it's the way the world should work.
No.
It's just the way the world does work.
Somebody made the comment, like, we shouldn't have to pay taxes. If private business can do it better. I agree that 100%.
Right.
I agree. The private business in this country is where all of the innovation comes. All innovation comes from private business in the United States. It does not ever come from the government. Not at all. Even our military stuff, it still comes from contractors. That is where the innovation comes from. So yes, I would love it if we had a different system. Love it if we had a fair tax. I would love it if we had no tax at all. But that's not reality. So let's try to live in reality where we're at. Y'all want a Boston Tea Party? Hey, I'm all for it. Let's go Boston Tea Party. Love it. We think it would really change something. All for it. But the reality where we are at today is you should not be using these. I see someone in the chat. He also said, well, I believe someone would use Tornado Cash for the purpose of privacy. Well, yeah, that's why people launder money too, for privacy, to try to clean it, to make it look like it didn't come from where it came from. Normal person should not be using that for the use of privacy. You want to get privacy? Buy Monero. Use Zcash. You want privacy? Do it that way.
Don't buy it from an exchange, though.
What's that?
I said don't buy it from an exchange. Buy it from a person.
Why? Oh, because the
don't follow you.
Trail. Yeah, of course. Well, doesn't matter with Monero though. Now they can tie it back to your KYC originally.
You won't find Monero on most exchanges.
Yeah.
Zcash, you will. So I'm just saying, take that.
So guys, what I try to do with you guys, honestly, is just keep you in reality. Like I've got ideals. I certainly have a libertarian stance on most things, but the reality is that's not the world we're living in today. And I'm more concerned about you guys keeping your money and not doing stupid stuff that's going to get you arrested or get the IRS, who just doubled their, amount of agents, to keep them off your back. That's all you got to do, to keep them off your back. And that's what you got to pay them. Make your money, move on.
That was kind of the point I was making. If you don't want to give yourself headaches and more risk, like who do you think those 85,000 IRS agents are going for? Anybody that use Tornado Cash for sure, and other crypto related things. So, just take that information and use it the best way you can.
Yeah, I understand the military is taxpayer money funded. That's not what I said. I said all innovation. That the companies that are creating new weapons, they're not necessarily the military, right? They're
No.
weapons designers and
They're-
creators.
right.
I'm just saying that still the private side is where the innovation comes from. That's why I'm terrified of us getting public healthcare here, because
Yes. Not good.
where's the motivation at that point? You know, there's a reason why most medical innovation comes from here. That's why people from the best, the smartest people from every country around the world, they come here to do medical school. You know, so anyways, all right. Let's go. Let's move on here. Kevin O'Leary says sacrificing Tornado Cash worth it for institutional adoption.
Meaning getting rid of it, right?
What?
Meaning getting rid of it.
Yeah, I guess he's just saying that this would be good for institutions. These are the kind of things that I worry about a little bit, where we're talking about sacrificing Tornado Cash so we can get dirty money to come into the space.
Right.
I mean,
And this
you ask who's worse, I would definitely say that the institutions are way worse than the people who create Tornado Cash. They're the ones that should go to prison. They're the ones that should be in jail right now.
Right. That's kind of the point I'm making. Like it's a slippery slope when we give up
It is.
libertarian freedom ideals for big money, because they're the worst cartel of all. Actually, I'd make the argument, which I don't even know if that the Mexican cartel isn't nearly as bad as the financial cartel. Now, you could debate that all day long with, I know it's tough.
The mutilation for me.
It's tough, but it's the scale for me with the financial.
Yeah.
So
what happened to Bitboy Crypto Morning TA? You guys go check out Matty B, Piano Matty B. Crypto Matty B. I can't remember exactly what he's going by. You gotta check him out. We still talk to him from time to time.
He was on ATB a week ago.
Oh, he was on?
Yeah.
Oh, good. He finally made it on. Yeah. We love him. Go subscribe to his channel. He's a great guy.
That stopped in January, though. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. Monero executes hard fork to improve security. Speaking of Monero, one of the most important privacy protocols in the ecosystem, one of their major devs, arrested for stealing cookies, executed a protocol update on August 13th to improve several privacy and security features on the network. As Crypto Potato recently reported, the hard fork will mark a big departure from Bitcoin's security model by providing a perpetual incentive to miners relying on reasonable fees to guarantee the network's security and untraceability. In the crypto space, privacy tools have become the double-edged sword for users. Many criminals abuse these protocols to launder money, yada, yada, yada. So there's more privacy talk there. USDT supply up almost 2 billion over 30 days. So more money coming into the Tether ecosystem.
So that's a positive.
USDC declined 2.1%. Go ahead.
That's the positive from this whole Tornado Cash thing, is now everybody's getting out of USDC for USDT, which is interesting because of the blacklisting. Taking less power out of Goldman Sachs' hands.
Yeah. Well, it's ultimately going to get it anyways. So,
yeah.
Let's see. Niall's back, y'all. Niall, hey, I'll give it to Niall. He is better than Kenny. Kenny never came back to the chat. When we killed Kenny, he was dead. Kenny ain't never came back. We got about 19 impersonators of Kenny that came into the chat. But Niall said, didn't think you'd see my message. Was just messaging for personal entertainment. Keep up the good work. You're back in the Bit Squad now. That's all you got to do now. You're back in the Bit Squad. I am no longer Team D Niall. I'm Team Niall now. Thank you, Niall, for coming back. Appreciate you. See, I'll always welcome you back with open arms.
Yeah.
Even if you say stuff that hurts my feelings, makes me lash out at you. Rare. Yeah, that was funny. That was good. That was good stuff. All right. Acala stablecoin falls 99%. We just said.
We covered this Friday.
We just said last week, yeah, I like Acala. I think it's good. It's one of the parachain auctions. It's one we like. It's one I did like. But now look.
Well, we also said Dot's DeFi ecosystem, brand new. And that's one thing that's interesting now that we've seen this story, is people have learned the common exploits on Ethereum's DeFi.
Yeah.
They're going to be coming after this right when it launches. So it's an interesting story.
Man, absolutely. Acala stablecoin falls 99% after hackers issued $1.3 billion or 1.3 billion tokens. A bug in the protocol's newly deployed IBTC AUSD. God, it sounds like I'm always reading the alphabet here.
Yeah. Gotta love simplicity of Dot.
Polkadot-based decentralized finance platform, Acala's native stablecoin AUSD, depegged on Sunday, plummeting 99% after hackers exploit a bug in a newly deployed liquidity pool mint 1.28 billion tokens. Later on Monday, Acala community members created a proposal that would result in the return of all erroneously minted AUSD at the protocol and later being burnt. So, look, when new ecosystems come out, you got to be careful because, it's weird, though, because the best returns are at the beginning usually.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're getting in the beginning, now you're not seeing, you don't have a track record to trust it by. So you got to understand when you do that stuff, it definitely is something that, you got to be careful with. Pharma Bro, this story right here, man. I saw this yesterday and I was just like, golly, how is this guy about to go back to prison? He just got out.
Is he?
Martin, do you know who this guy was?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know.
He was, if I remember correctly, he was price gouging EpiPens. Right? That's the guy, right?
Yeah, it was
I
thought
insulin?
it was a HIV medicine is the one I'm familiar with.
Oh, you do have AIDS,
5,800
so-
price spike like overnight.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't EpiPens, it was insulin syringes then maybe? I don't know. Whatever it was, basically it was gouging, like insane amounts. And he went to prison. Yeah, convicted felon, launched crypto last July. Let me tell you somebody you may not want to invest in. Somebody who literally just got out of prison, and is creating a coin when he was in trouble for a financial crime before. That is a problem. Martin Shkreli, the former investor who earned the nickname Pharma Bro after raising the price of life-saving drugs by more than 5,000% overnight, is having a difficulty transition into the crypto industry.
Yeah.
He went to jail for a Hillray threat. I don't know what Hillray is. Let's see. He launched a token called Drug-like. What the crap? Platform running on Web3, the new iteration of the internet. Drug-like. This has got to be peak Web3 rug pull right here.
I was just saying,
Right,
he
this is like
timed it
peak
wrong.
ICO.
He should have done it at the top. You don't do that in a bear market. Was he,
It wasn't EpiPens. He was price gouging everything. He didn't go to jail for medical stuff.
he went for securities, insider trading kind of deal. That's what it says.
Yeah, right. But
Yes, he was
it's all kind of
manipulating,
related.
Yeah,
in a sense.
prices of medicine.
Drug-like Web3. This reminds me of a token that I saw in 2018. It was launching. It was literally tokenizing India's garbage truck industry.
What?
It was tokenizing the garbage truck industry, and it was very bizarre. And I was like, "What in the world is this? This is crazy." And then that was the peak, pretty much, of the crazy ICOs. They got crazier and crazier and crazier. When people are investing in something like this, Tornado is USDC and ETH.
It's an ETH mixer. We keep calling it a Bitcoin.
Oh, it's not a Bitcoin mixer at all.
It's
Oh,
an
it's only an ETH
Ethereum
mixer.
mixer. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know.
but it operates
Did not know that.
obviously just like most Bitcoin mixers of the past, which is why it's an easy way to describe it.
Yeah,
But they use Ethereum.
it's an ETH mixer. Okay, well, great. Regardless, everything still applies. That I said, it just that one specific is ETH. So anyways, Drug-like aim to provide resources for anyone looking to start or contribute to early stage drug discovery projects. Oh my gosh, we started Drug-like because in our experience, traditional drug discovery software is too difficult and expensive to use. So we rug pulled everybody. Let's see. It has a native crypto token. It was called.
Oh god,
I can't with some of this stuff.
So
It was
stupid.
called Martin Shkreli Inu. You know he had to use that on a date before. He had to. Hey, you want to know the name of my token? Martin Shkreli Inu. I can see it right now.
Yeah.
Barely launched. The digital currency has completely collapsed. It's down 72.2% over the past 2 weeks. Blockchain technology, however, show that one account, 0xSkreli.eth. This is the dumbest guy in the history of everything. This is the dumbest guy ever, I think. He has to be. He literally has his name in his ETH address that he rug pulled with. Hey, Ben, would you be able to make it to our Kings meeting on Thursday after the AMA? Sending love from Pluto. I am not sure. I'm speaking on Thursday night at the Atlanta Blockchain, but that's next
No.
Thursday. That's
Yeah,
next
you're
Thursday.
speaking. You are going to be there. I'm pretty
What's
sure.
the date today?
Today is the 15th.
Okay, I think I can't be there. So
I think it's on
possibly.
the calendar. That's one we were talking about earlier. No, you guys said Ask Taco.
Yeah.
Thursday
Yeah.
night.
Well, that's the AMA, but the King's meeting is hours later.
Oh, after.
Yeah, King's meeting is like 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So it's pretty late for me because my kids go to bed at 10. I'm usually in bed between 10 and 11. So, but yeah, I'll try to make it this week. According to Bloomberg, Australia believes he was hacked. Of course, that's what they always say. I got hacked, blah, 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 blah. So absolutely insane. Samsung next exec argues Web3 projects must face the challenge of utility. Duh, obviously. That's why we're not at adoption right now. They got to prove their use. I'm actually reading a book on the metaverse right now. Very interesting. It's on Blinkist, so it's only a 10-minute read. But it's supposed to be like, a regular sized book. I love Blinkist. They break it down so easy. You get all the good stuff out of it. You don't have to actually sit there and read forever. So it's great. Let's see. Addition executive also highlighted instead of focus on 10x returns, industry should concentrate on implementation. Obviously, guys, I'm here for the tech, right? Aren't y'all here for the tech? That's an unrealistic comment he made. So Mana's network activity, this is Decentraland, bring forth a shorting opportunity here. So if you want to short, Mana, maybe it's a good time. You look at the network, it's on the way down. Low network activity also reflected in the form of a drop in addresses. I don't think Decentraland is going to really do too much in terms of actual utility and usage. It's going to be the institutional metaverse, I guess, if not the Facebook metaverse. But I mean, look, it's definitely something to check out. I'm just not really big on Decentraland compared to Sandbox. I think it's different messaging. Billionaire Mark Cuban addresses Cardano holders, says Dogecoin more usable as a currency than ADA. This is just a straight up troll. Straight up troll by Mr. Mark Cuban. Replying to a thread on Twitter, which, by the way, one of the great places to reply to a thread, Twitter. Cuban tells his 8.8 million followers that while Cardano may be capable of running more applications on its blockchain, Dogecoin still currently fulfills more utility. What matters is the expectation for the token. If you think it's going to go way up, why would you spend it on food or rent? I agree. ADA maxes give you 1,000 reasons why it will go up. Doge users have fun in the community, want it to go up, but know the value is in it being transactional.
It's in it being, yeah.
No. The people who bought Dogecoin, they don't think they're spending Dogecoin as currency in the future. They bought it because Elon Muskrat said, Dogecoin price go up. And guess what price it? Price go up. Elon, no tweet about Dogecoin. Dogecoin price go down. Like, that's as simple as that. Like, the fact he's actually trying to compare Dogecoin to Cardano is one of the bigger jokes that I've ever seen. So
I think that's the perfect example of intellectual dishonesty that you always talk about. I think he knows that. I mean, you could make that case. It is better for currency. It's appreciating, like it's going to inflate forever. There's, no reason to hold it, much more reason to spend it. But he's not going to drive in on those points. He's just going to say, oh, Doge is better than Cardano, knowing he's going to pump up the price as well. And then he's going to take his Doge and move it into something else. So, I don't know.
This guy fell for iron finance rug pull and is getting sued for promoting a Ponzi with Voyager. Why are people still talking to him about crypto?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I'd say this. Look, there's not, in my opinion, outside of straight Bitcoin maximalists that never talked about Celsius or anything like that, which there aren't any of those that are popular on YouTube that I know of. Every person who has talked about crypto and has had a ton of views and a ton of press have almost always touched something that went to zero or touched something that didn't work or was unsuccessful. So I'm not going to get on Cuban too hard about the iron finance thing. I think a lot of it was a little naive on his part.
Yeah, you live
but
and
we've
learn.
all been naive about different stuff. I certainly have, throughout my journey in crypto. So I'm not going to kill him over that stuff. I'm going to kill him over saying something stupid that he knows isn't true. Like, there's no way he thinks that Dogecoin has a higher ceiling than Cardano because it's got a fun community. Like, he doesn't really think that. There's no way. He basically has a lot of ETH, and he's trying to throw Cardano under the bus. That's what I think.
And he's using his words very carefully. He didn't say it has a higher ceiling than Cardano. He says Doge is better for a currency.
Yeah.
Which makes people think it has a higher ceiling.
Well, he took more jabs at it. That wasn't
He
the whole
has,
thing.
yeah. He says it's stupid. And it's you can tell he's a very big ETH bag holder.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So
because then he goes on to shill 6 other coins that he holds.
I can TikToks are on Tuesdays and Thursdays, guys. Twitter Buzz on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if you haven't figured that one out yet. I've got contact for his assistant. We'll try to get him on the channel. I'll reach out to him today, and try to make that happen. So, ADA, Whale, and Cardano, 3 main advantages over other POS blockchains. Let's see what they said here. What are the 3 things? Security, staking, and decentralization of block production. Okay, cool. Sounds great. There's a lot of good stuff about Cardano, and we have a Cardano influencer coming in house this week. Big pay coming on this week. I think he's coming to the studio live. So, pretty cool stuff. And reminder, we are going to Rare Bloom October 14th and 15th. Be the keynote there along with Charles Hoskinson, and can't wait to go there, hang out with the Cardano community because, hey, gang wars, ADA gang, it's dead. ADA gang's dead. It's dead. Cardano community. It's the only acceptable way
I don't know.
to talk about the community.
I mean, I liked ADA Gang. That was fun.
I think you came up with it. I think you
Did I?
created it, actually.
Did I really?
Don't look at me, Cardano community. Look at DJ.
Oh yeah, you're blaming me.
Look at DJ. It wasn't me.
Oh.
It was so sad watching Charles Hoskinson at DEF CON this week. You see the pictures of him? He's always by himself. He's like, I don't know. He's just taking solo pictures because there's nobody there at DEF CON in Las Vegas. So I think it was Las Vegas. I don't even know what DEF CON is. I think it's more technology than crypto, possibly. But
Yeah, sounds like Dev.
yeah, he's a DEF with an F though.
Yeah.
DEF CON, I know I went to San Francisco one year, but San Jose technically. Judge Sarah Netbird, where's my XRP army? Throw the X up if you are in the XRP army. A lot of good stuff coming out about the case in this last several weeks. Some people say ADA Gang's still alive. Wow. You got your Bloods, your Crips, and your ADA Gang. Judge Sarah Netbird approved Ripple's request to obtain 7 video recordings of SEC's official public remarks. James Filan, the blockchain company, or the lawyer, says the company got the approval in a text-only order, which reads, order grading 583. Ooh, that's only 6 away from 589. How about that? Letter motion for leave to serve 2 non-party subpoenas. Yada, yada, yada. Ripple has sought to obtain the video recordings from the video sharing platforms. However, the platforms requested that Ripple should serve the subpoenas first before it would be allowed to download the media content. SEC still maintain that Ripple's request to serve subpoenas to both parties is a move to reopen fact discovery. Doesn't it feel like that we are not going anywhere in this case? That we're staying perpetually in this state of, I can do that. No, you can't. They can't do that. Maybe they can. I don't know. Let's relook at it. Like, that's literally how it's gone the entire time. The SEC says, hey, we should be able to do this. The judge says, nope, you can't do it. And then Ripple comes out and says, yeah, they can't do that. And the SEC says, no, I think we still can. Can we look at it again? They've literally done this like 20 times with like 20 different things. That's why this thing goes on forever. I think there's a decent chance that this case actually goes longer than the SEC exists. At the day of the kill, the kill time for the SEC, it is possible. The case would be over immediately after that because they won't have any jurisdiction anymore. I'm telling you guys, there is a chance that Ripple destroys the SEC. This is not conjecture. I've heard this from politicians. There is a chance, at bare minimum, the SEC is getting restructured totally over the next 2 years. Bare minimum. Maybe starting by the end of this year. But and tell you this, they're not going to have power of the digital assets world. I can tell you that. That's being taken from them very, very soon. But there's a chance that this happens. I had a tweet over the weekend on what's the site where I do the tweets?
Twitter, I think.
Right, on Twitter. And I said, basically, Ripple might actually kill the SEC. And I said, Brad Garlinghouse is doing the Lord's work. And you know what happened right after that? Brad Garlinghouse followed me. Welcome, Brad G. Appreciate you. Okay, so there we go. There's that. So quick hits. Do Kwon spoke out. Fat Man accuses journalist of still shilling Terra. Fat Man is a guy on Twitter who is, I think, an Anon guy who is leading the charge against Do Kwon in a class action lawsuit. I don't think that Do Kwon. I want to watch that interview. Did you watch it?
No, I read a little bit about it. Apparently, he was open to the idea of going to jail. Basically, his response was, life is long.
Yeah. I mean, where are you going to go for a financial crime like this?
Yeah.
No intentional criminality. It's kind of like if you hit somebody in a car, right? Like you're driving.
Sure.
you know, you miss a stop sign or something happens and you run into somebody and they get really hurt or injured or they die. Let's say they die for this context. You didn't mean to. The mistake you made was actually a mistake that people everywhere have made. It just so happened the one time that you happen to make that mistake, everything lined up in the world for you to get vehicular manslaughter, right? So still a crime. You're still getting held responsible. You're probably not doing 10 to 20 years in prison. You're probably doing 2 to 5 years in prison, maybe less, getting probation, very rigorous stuff, the house arrest, the whole thing. You're going to have to pay a lot of money, a lot of restitution, but you didn't set out to be a criminal. I think that's where Do Kwon is. And I think that what he did here by saying he's open to going to jail is, you know, I think he knows there's a strong possibility of it, or at least a possibility of it. What's he going to do? 2 years, maybe? That's probably all he would do. So 2 years is a lot of time in prison, though, by the way, to take out your life. I'm not trying to minimize that if you've been to prison or anything like that. You know, I took 2 years out of my life and, you know, went to rehab back in 2007 and 2009. So I know it's a big commitment to remove that long out of your life. I'm trying to minimize it, but I mean, the grand scheme of things, life is long.
Yeah. He also took full responsibility.
Well,
when
good.
it said pinned it all on
I don't
one
think he's a bad
person.
guy. I really don't. I said this very shortly after. There was a lot of stuff coming out saying like, oh, they disbanded this. Clearly he's in on it. He's on it. I don't think he was in on it. I don't think. I think he got rug pulled here, basically. So not trying to minimize what happened and the people lost money. Certainly sad. He needs to be held responsible. But I don't think he's a bad person. Thoughts on fresh report about BUSD backing with T-bills? I think we covered that on Friday, didn't we?
I don't remember.
I think we did. I think we did cover that. So maybe we definitely talked about treasury bills and Binance. All right, real quick. Bitcoin's longest serving lead maintainer calls it quits. Named no successor. That was the guy on Twitter, right? Von der Laan. Was that the guy's name? No, other guy's name. I can't remember the other guy's name. The one that there was a big deal about his Twitter thread last week on the Maxis. Polychain Capitals, whose DEX maker demands his investment back. MTV creates, I think that's Multivac, creates VMA Metaverse. Oh, no. That's also a crypto coin, Metavac or Multivac. This is actually what used to be called music television. VMA Metaverse space on Roblox to attract viewers. Crypto Market adds over 700 new coins. They're all dead. They're all going to die. Remember, we're going to get no coins by the end of this bear market. I've been dead on a couple things. Number one, that narrative all the coins are dying is wrong. It's wrong. Just forget about it. The majority of coins are already dead. We're not seeing this massive death and extinction of coins. We're not seeing it. Also been right about Bitcoin dominance as well, going down, not up. I didn't think it would go down. I said it would go over 50%, while people have been telling you much higher numbers than that. And also, you know, Ethereum shaping up maybe to pass Bitcoin. Pretty interesting stuff too. Blockchain industry workforce grows 80%. Q&A.
All right, Q&A. There was a super chat. There.
Thought? Yeah, we
Oh, we
already
get
covered
that. All right, perfect. So this was from Crypto Stevo. He was asking why he can't delegate Ether to a validator like so many other proof of stake coins. He doesn't have 32 ETH. Lido is okay, but it's only 3.9 right now. Any thoughts?
Save your money, get 32 ETH.
Yeah,
I guess that's the best I can really offer to you at this point.
And
I'm not going to suggest you go staking on Coinbase. I'm not going to suggest staking on a third-party site. So
no. And I would say, I would imagine you'll see rates get marginally better after the merge, and a lot of this chaos settles down a little bit, but just have to hold on there.
Yeah.
Grant asked us a few times. I watched the video on the 3 cold wallets. What are the advantages and disadvantages of SafePal versus Ledger? I know the SafePal is more affordable.
I would say this. I think SafePal is a good option for people. I would just say, when it comes to advantages or disadvantages, the major advantage of Ledger is the time it's been around.
Yeah,
is its track record. It is the most attempted wallet to crack, and it's never been cracked. Now, they had their email list cracked and hacked and phished. I think Swan Bitcoin actually had the same thing happen this week. I had an email from them. They had their email list. I think it was just your first name and your address. They don't know your last name, so nobody can come kill you. But yeah, so basically, long and the short of it is, I just think I take Ledger over everything. I think Ledger over everything is the simplest to use. So not to say anything bad about SafePal or Trezor or any of these other wallets, but I just think the track record of Ledger speaks for itself.
An experience in crypto, hard to beat.
You can't beat it.
Right.
We've seen this with Mark Cuban, Michael Saylor, these people that are newer to the space, and we see kind of the things that they've been right about and the things that they've been wrong about. I'm telling you, you cannot discount sitting through one entire bear market. If this is your first bear market, this will change the way you look at things forever. Forever, this will change the way you look at things, and it will make you much better, much smarter, much wiser.
From Devin Jet, have you heard Bob Lucas' theory on the next cycle? He says we might see all-time high in the first year and a 3-year bear market as part of a 16-year cycle or something along those lines. What do you think?
So here's what I'll do. I'll put his theory in the same bucket where I put Crypto Savvy's. This is the first bear market we've ever had, and it's a 10-year cycle. I'll throw those in the same bucket, along with every single other theory that people overthink and decide this is what it's going to be like. And I'm going to keep going by my bucket, which is the Bitcoin 4-year cycle based on the halving, that's been consistently right. Consistently. In fact, if I would have trusted it more, we would have pulled all our money out of the top.
Yeah.
But I thought the number was more important. The numbers are important. It's the timeline that halving cycle gives that's been so consistent over time. So consistent. We've seen some things break down. The stock to flow chart. We saw the diminished returns drop way more drastically than we've seen before. Many other things that have been slightly out, of sync between every market. But I'm gonna keep going 4-year cycle till it's wrong. I'm gonna keep going with it till it's wrong. It'll be wrong one day. Until then, I'm gonna go with what works. So I'll throw in that bucket. Fairy tales and rainbows. That's where I put it. All right, guys. We got one last question. Lux Algo or Market Cipher?
If you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one. I mean, if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Market Cipher just because I've used it the most. I know exactly what it's doing. But really, the supercharged power of using both is what I think is, where you can really get some good trades. When you're not just going off the Lux Algo, like, hey, buy. You look at the buy, and then you look at the Market Cipher B and say, oh, Market Cipher's giving a conflicting report. If they are actually on top of each other, showing the same thing, that's a really great way to get into trades. It's also a good way to get out of trades, maybe before there's more downside on a long, for instance, based on the Lux Algo numbers. If you get bad warning signs on Market Cipher, just go ahead and pull out of the trade. I think it's really good to use them both and supercharge them. So, all right, guys, that is all we got for today. Rush Electors, I'm sorry, I didn't see your super chat. We have so many super chats, we don't see every single one of them. Okay, I'll ask it. Last one. We see it. How are your VeChain bags been? I got rid of all my VeChain. We got rid of VeChain because of the geopolitical tension between us and China. It was just a deciding factor. Wasn't the only reason. We were trimming down coins, had to choose why. I do believe VeChain is going to do really well. I like VeChain. As they move and get a little more decentralized from China into Europe and some other places, I can get very bullish on it again and maybe add it back to the portfolio for the bull run. So, all right. Thank you, guys. That's all I got. Be blessed. Got to get this off me. BitBoy out.